Hi all, my name is Santosh and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, in this particular video, I'll be talking about polymorphism in C++ programming language. And in this video, I will show you the uh, theory parts what is polymorphisms and what are the types and how we can uh, write the code and in this video and at last I will show you the coding part also. So let's move to the slide and see uh, the theory part and after the theory parts um, I will include the coding parts also in this particular video. So let's get started. We are in the part of polymorphism in C++. So before going to the deep about the polymorphism in C++, I would like to see you the definitions. What is the definitions uh, of polymorphism and how we can move just and so 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 we are in the polymorphism in C++ class. So in this video, I'll be talking about the polymorphism, especially in C++ programming. So first of all, I would like to introduce and say you the definitions of polymorphism in C++. So it's a polymorphism is one of the core concept of object-oriented programming language. So it allows object of different classes to be treated as object of the common base classes. So it can consist just like a base class, and just like we have created the class just like a base class and it is treated as the object of the common base class. Polymorphism is a enables a single interface to be used for different types improving code reusability. And in upcoming slide, I will show you its type and definitions and many more things. So if you see, we have this type of features of object-oriented programming. So we have finished uh, just like you can see here. We have complete the classes, objects, inheritance, encapsulations. Now today we'll discuss about the polymorphism, and that is the features of object-oriented programming. So in this uh, video, basically, especially I will be talking about the polymorphism concept and the types and how you can write its code and execute the codes in the program. So polymorphisms in this video will be see it. The polymorphism is one of the core. You can see it's like it is the it is one of the core concept of object-oriented programming language. So you can see it is the core concept of OOP and it allows objects of different classes to be treated as the object of the common class base class. So polymorphism enables a single inheritance single interface to be used for different types of improving code reusability and flexibility, you can see. And just like you can see in this image illustrating the polymorphism in C++, showing the base class of cat. This is the base class of cat. This is the base class, and base class is like its animal. You can see here, this is the animals base class, and the derived class dog and cat. You can see here the derived class and the dog base class is the animals, and derived class is the dog, and you can see here dog and cat. You can see here this is the cat and this is the dog. This is the and this is the derived class. This is the derived class. This is the base class and this is the dog. This is the dog and cat. This is the derived class. You can see here in this figure picture. So and with a make a sound, and it both are make a sound. That is they are the animals, and both are make a sounds, and functions being dynamically called using a base class pointers. So you can see here this is the base class of the animals, and this is the derived class of dog. Dog is the derived class of dog. It means this is the base class, and this is the derived class. You can see here, and also you can say these are the some of the advantages. It's like advantages of um, it's like code reusability, code reusability, reusability, and flexibility, and improved readability. You can see here. And don't worry, guys. I will provide the its PDF note to the in this video descriptions. You can download from there and make your study. So uh, you can see it polymorphism. First of all, you need to know the meaning of polymorphisms. What is the meanings and how you can define it. So polymorphism is one of the core concept of object-oriented programming in C++. It allows object of different classes to be treated as the object of a common base class. So this is the base class, and it will be treated as the derived class having the same object of the class of the same class. So polymorphism enables a single interface to be used for different types of improving code reusability and flexibility. You can see here. So um, polymorphisms means many forms. It means many forms. You can see here. Many form many forms, and it occurs when we have many classes, and that are related to each others by inheritance. We have It occurs when we have many classes, so one class, two class, two three class. It means having the more classes in the time it will be happening. So and you need to know you more and why we use and when we use the inherit and polymorphism, and sometimes we can call inheritance. So it is useful for code reusability. It is the code reusability and flexibility, and methods just like reuse the attributes and methods of existing class when you create a new class. So you can use the code just you have already created, and when just you are going to create a code class, then you can use its previous methods and attributes as well. So you can see here just like it has some advantages, just like code reusability and flexibility and extensibility, improve readability and maintenance. You can see here. So I'll show you some types here. You can see here it has polymorphism have a type. First one is compile time polymorphism. This is called static binding. It has also two types, function overloading and operator overloading. And the second polymorphism type is runtime polymorphism, dynamic binding, functions overriding using virtual functions. I'll be show you its example and definitions in upcoming slides. So let's move. So the first one is you can see here compile time polymorphisms, static bindings. So compile time polymorphism is achieved through functions overload and operators overloading. The functions to be executed is determined at the compile time. It means it will be executed at the time of the compile time. So um, it is the first types of compile time polymorphism static binding is the functions overloading. You can see. So functions overloading allows multiple functions to have the same name. Having the multiple functions, suppose add, and other add. As per the attributes and parameters, its functionality will be different. So functions overloading allows multiple functions to have the same number with the different parameter, different types of number of arguments. So in the next slide, I will show you the example of it. So you can see here function overloading example. Having the function overloading means the function many functions. Program contains many functions. Functions overloading allows multiple functions to have the same name, but the different parameter, different type, and number of arguments. You can see here, this is the basic things you have to include. You must include it, header files, namespaces, and you have just created a math operations, the name of the class, and you have specified the public specifier here that you can access it from inside of the class and outside of the class. So mm, functions to add to integers. So you have declared the integer type of functions. It returns a value. Add functions having the declaring setting the parameters integer a, integer b. You can see here, and it return a plus b, a plus b. And another functions add three integers. The name of the function is the same. You can see here the name of the function is same. An integer a having by specifying different parameters, just like it contains three parameters, int a, int b, and c, and it returns value a plus b plus and plus b plus c. You can see here. And another functions declaration is functions to be at two double numbers. It means the numbers contain it means the float points. It means after the digit it contains many. After the decimal it contains many digits. So its types is double, and the name of the function is a double b. It returns a value a plus b, just like a uh, 10.3456. It means this type of numbers is called double. In the inside main math operation, you can see here, this is the name of the class, and you have to after creating the class you have to create an object inside the main function, that is obj. You have to name it here, and you just invoke the functions here. So calling the function cout object sum of 2 and 3 is like a 2 and 3, it's like object 8, 2 and 3, and it will referencing or connecting these functions. The first one, if you invoke the second one is 1, 2, 3 integers, then it will call these functions. And you can if you call the third functions just like 2.5 and 3.5, just you are trying to add, you want to add, then it would call the third functions because it is the double type of data types it contains. So it's overloading, it will become the overloading. This is called the overloading because um, yeah, you can create just like one just I'm reading, just a minute. Yeah, fine. You have created only one class, but having the uh, many functions having the same name. You can see here, and you can see here also here. You can see here add three add functions you have created, but as per their different types of number and arguments. So you can see this is called the overriding, and its output is 5, 9, and you can see 6 here. So you can see its output. And the second one is, you can say here, compile time polymorphisms, static binding. So operators overloading, It means I've already told you its definitions. And operator overloading allows operators like plus, minus, multiplication, it is to works on user-defined data types. So uh, it is the functions to be executed and determined at the compile time. So let's uh, move to the example and see. And you can see here polymorphism and the operator overloading. So this is the basic things here, and you can create a class having the name complex, and you have to specify the private, uh, just like double, real, and imaginary. I am imaginary. It means JROI. You can see, and complex double zero double I equal to zero, and this is the operators you have to inherit. So real or and imaginary I. These are the functions you have created. It's like and overloading plus operators here, complex operators plus const. You have to const keyword you have to use. That is the const complex and obj, and return it returns the complex real obj dot real into sorry, comma, and you can see here imaginary plus object dot imaginary. So before you have to create the object, and here you can see just like a display functions void display cout real plus imaginary. What are the reals and imaginary numbers when you call these functions? So when you put inside the main functions complex c1 and 3.2 comma 4.5 comma c2 1.5 and 2.5. So when you add it, and what will its output, you can see this is usage overloaded plus operators. This is the overloading uh, polymorphism type. And when you add this, what will be the result? This will become 4.7, and the second one is became the 7i. It means I means imaginary, imaginary, imaginary numbers. You can see here, and C3 will be displayed. The result of additions will be displayed. You can see the outputs. I will show you this code in the lab also, don't worry, and I will also provide the source code in PDF note. The downloadable link will be um, available or attached in the description of this video. You can download from there or visit the GitHub account, and you all materials will be available there, so you can download from there easily. And I have already discussed you about it. Runtime polymorphism. So this is the function overriding. So this you can see here the runtime polymorphism, dynamic binding, and this is the function overriding. And the function overriding occurs when the derived class provide a specific implementation of functions that is already defined in the base class. You can it is very easy. The base class already the functions will be already defined the base class, and also you can see here these definitions, and you can see here in these examples here function overriding. Function overriding occurs when a derived class provides a specific implementations of functions that is already defined in the space classes. So this is the example you can see here using namespaces and include and stream. It is the basic things you must include in every program. So when you create the class The animals is the name of the class. This is the public specifier. It will be specified to call inside class or outside of the class. So virtual void make a sound. You have to create virtual functions here, and you have to print a message. See out animal makes a sound. So this is the first class, and class dog and operators colon public animal. This is the name of the base class where we are using, where we can use the drive inherited. The it will be inherited in the class dog. So you can see here you have to use the colon operators to inherit the base class. And in this the public specifier, and it also void make sound override overriding the base class functions. The base class, it means the animals will be overridden here. And what it prints, dog barks, dog barks. And the other class cat, public animals. It also animals, it means the base class is also inherited, overridden here by creating a base derived class cat. And it also makes sounds override. You have to write the keyword override. You have to use to override the base class function. So you can see here, it means animal makes sound base class functions you have to use, just like a base class function. Base class, this is the base class, and then this is the, I can show you this like that. This is the base class, and this is the function of the base class, and you are just using here by overriding, using overriding keyword, override keyword, keyword, and it's print cat in just like bark, it's mew. And inside the main class you can see here mm, animals sticks animals equal to new dog base class pointer to the derived class object, just like it is the pointer. The base class, this is the base class, it pointers name, it pointers to the just like a pointer to the derived class object. This is the name of the derived class. This is the name. This is the new dynamically pointed. You can see here. And when you revoke, when you call animal one, makes sound, and uh, calls dog makes sound due to dynamic binding. You have to just like new keyword you use to dynamic dynamic here. You can see here. And you can call the code makes sound due to the dynamic binding, and when you delete it, it will be released. So it's print, what does it print? Dogs barks, cow barks. This will use to call the, just you are calling it by using the operators. So this is the polymorphism concept, and in this video we'll have talked about its type and definitions. I've also shown you to the code demonstration code here, and I will show you uh, to how to execute and how to run this and how to write the code in the Visual Studio. So let's move to the Visual Studio and see uh, how you can execute uh, this code there. So guys, you can see here, I'll show you the three I've already written here, the function overloading and the function overriding and operators overloading. You can see here the functions overloading means we have created the one class but having the many functions having the same name with the different parameters. So you can see here the math operations. This is the name of the class, and I have also shown you this is the add functions, and you can and this function is for adding two integers, and this function is three, and this is the double number. So when you call it, and yeah, just like this is the name of the class, and you have to create each object of the class. So when you call the object, it's like if you pass two arguments, this is when you pass call the functions, you have to pass the argument, two argument. The first function will be called invoked, and when you pass three arguments, then the second functions will be called invoked, and when you call the third one decimal float numbers, then these functions will be called. It means this is called the invoking, or sorry, this is called the override, overloading of the functions. So this is I can show you. Just run this code and see what is happening and what will uh, its output. So it's taking time. Don't worry. You can see here. Just taking time. Yeah, fine. The sum of 2 and 3 is 5. The sum of 2 and 3 and 4 is 9. And the sum of 2.5 and 3.5 is basically 6. So you can see here it's all output. So it's called the functions overloading. And the second one is I'll show you operator overloading. So you can see the double you have created. In the first one, you have to create a class defined, and you can see here the private specifier is defined. You cannot access this element, these variables out of the class. So this is imaginary numbers. This is the real numbers you have to uh, take, for instance. So this is the public complex, and you can see here inline complex double r equal to 0, double I equal to 0. This is the colon, and real r, imaginary I. You have to define the function and overloading the plus operators, complex operators uh, plus constant complex and objects you have to override. And return, what does it return? It returns real plus object real and imaginary plus obj dot imaginary, and display its functions. Display cout. It will shows the one real and another part is imaginary numbers. And when you call it, so you can see in the first C1, this is, you can see this is the complex, this is the name of the class, and this is the C1 and C3, this is the object. You can see um, when you display, when you call, and having by giving the parameter arguments, and it will jump to the functions, and it will show your definition, it will show your results. So result of the addition, it will display this like this. C3 means this, it is the sum of C1 plus C2, and 3.2 is added to 1.5, and 4.5 is added to 2.5. It means, but it will become the imaginary. So I can say, just run this code, see what result will be showing. You can see the result of addition is 4.7 plus 7i. So you can see here. So you can see here is the result of this program. So this is for operator overloading. Now let's move to the another program, function overriding. So you can see here, this is the function overriding program. First of all, you need to create the uh, class of the program. So the name of the class is animal, and you have to specify the public specifier. Um, for that to it can be accessed from inside and outside of the class. So virtual void, it means you have to virtual functions you have to declare here, and you have to print a message inside the functions, virtual function. And after you have to inherit it just like by creating the derived function class. This is the name of the class, and it will be you just inherited it by using the colon operator. And inside this override base class functions, it means this is the class name, and override base class functions. This function will be overriding here. Make sounds, override it by you have to use the keyword override, and it will be override. And this is also override here, you can see here. And when you points to the derived class object by creating, just like you use the pointer, it will point dynamically to the base class pointer to derived class object. Derived class object, it will be point dynamically, and when you call it uh, and after calling you have to release it and you can delete it. So when you print, run this code and see what message will be, what the program will print. Dog barks, cat meows. It means the derived class, the base class functions is overridden in the derived class, and it will be called inside the main function, and the result will be printed. Dog barks and cat meows. So it's all about the practical lab of polymorphisms. You can see here, and you can see in the upcoming video, we'll be talking about the another chapters. You can just like that is the more functions of and functionalities of the OOPS concept, the challenging related to the OOPS in C++ programming language. So it was from my side, and practice and download the source code from the GitHub accounts, and see you in the next video. Thank you.